cause you about to be an ATL.
Get ready. I'm ready. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We ready. Hey, squad. What's up, squad? Welcome. We got our first members only live chat. Okay. We see y'all out there. Danny's in the building. Mun's Granny. We're going to talk about some good stuff today. That's why I put it on members only because I didn't want no trolls in the chat because I thought that, today we needed to talk about some serious things. I'm trying to get summertime fine. And I have my guest here, Miss Kayona Moreland from My Health Reassurance. I got it right.
Got it right.
And yeah, we're gonna talk about some things. Hey y'all, well, let me greet the people first. We're just gonna dive in. Y'all like this video as y'all come in here, share it. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention Facebook. We streaming live on Facebook.
Hey, Facebook.
So there's Jackie over there on Facebook, honey. There go Nate Robinson, Danny De Niro, Kendra. Okay. Now, one thing I noticed, hey, Mr. Woods, welcome back. Welcome back, Cassandra. I see y'all. One thing I noticed is the topic today. Not one thing I noticed. We talking about weight loss. Hell, we talk about weight loss. Listen, I'm on a perpetual diet.
Yes.
I'm always on a diet. I go up, I go down. I eat sometimes I don't eat. I'm in my middle season now. I'm trying to get a little skinnier after being fat for the pandemic. And so I decided to go on this journey of semaglutide.
Okay. And it has been going for you?
It's been going pretty good so far. I mean, I just feel like I've been on it forever. Forever being like 6-7 months. I can't even remember when I started it, child. It's been a long time. No, it ain't been that long, but it's been a long time. And so I started the generic version of semaglutide with someone else before Kayona.
Right.
But I'm with Kayona now, yeah. And when I first started, like I did notice an immediate, like I did lose a lot of weight the first 2-3 weeks. They say what do you lose like when you first start semaglutide?
Like 2 to 3 pounds a week.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
people.
That was about right. Well, first of all, you said you can't hear her.
Oh, you can't hear me? I'm sorry. See, I told you they always tell me I gotta talk.
Speak up.
Speak in the microphone.
Let me know. Y'all press 1 if y'all can hear Kayona,
My big
please.
girl voice. Well, I guess I need to introduce myself
Yes.
to people. So, hello, Facebook land and YouTubers of ATLian. My name is Kayona Moreland. I'm a nurse practitioner, and I am the owner and founder of My Health Reassurance, located in Fayetteville, Georgia, where I offer aesthetic, wellness, and medical services.
Okay.
And medical weight loss is my main service that I'm offering right now, and that's what I am here to talk to you about today.
Okay. But in addition to doing weight loss, you also do, because I mentioned you in my live the other day.
Okay.
We was talking about housewives.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did a housewife scene when they were sitting in a IV rehydration studio.
Okay.
And,
Yes, I do IV hydration. For those of you that are familiar or not familiar with IV hydration, that is basically when we put an IV in you and we administer IV vitamins in your bag for the fluids, rehydration, energy, whatever it is that you need. We're able to provide those amino acids, vitamins by way of an intravenous catheter.
Okay. So that's a good thing, because I've been over there. I did that too.
Yes, you have.
I did that
and
too.
How you felt after that?
I felt wonderful. I came home, cleaned up, went out, bought some stuff, went shopping, went out to eat, did a whole bunch. So yeah, it did give me a boost of energy. I need to go back and get some more. But let's talk about this weight loss.
Okay.
So explain to the people what exactly semaglutide is before we get started.
So I feel like I just need to start at the beginning because it's so much talk about this particular medication. So I'm gonna just start from the beginning. So most people, there's Ozempic. Ozempic was the medication that was made by Novo Nordisk, I think is the name of the pharmaceutical company that made Ozempic. Ozempic was FDA approved for type 2 diabetes. And so what they noticed was the patients that were on the medication over time started losing weight. So they started doing clinical trials to kind of see, how they were losing weight, how long it was taking, what were their factors around, how the weight was coming off. And so after that, Eli Lilly, another pharmaceutical company, came up with wegovy. Once a medication is already out there and FDA approved, you can't copy a commercial-based FDA approved drug. So wegovy, which is pretty much the same thing as Ozempic, it has the same active ingredient, which is semaglutide. Wegovy was later FDA approved for chronic weight loss management. So again, same active ingredient, which is semaglutide, which is the generic, basically, is what people are now doing for chronic weight loss management.
So when you say when you say the same base, like they both have semaglutide, but are there like differences? Do they have like semaglutide and something else that like? Because I know I was on the generic semaglutide for a while, and now I'm on Mounjaro. Like this time I'm going up, but people was telling me, people like Derek J.
Call them out.
People like my friend Derek J was telling me that the other drugs like wegovy and Ozempic and Mounjaro, all of those, they have different things than like the plain old semaglutide. So like the name brands have like more medicine in it or something. I don't know. I just wanted to know like what's the difference between like the Ozempics and the and the wegovys and just like semaglutide shots.
There's no difference.
For real?
I kid you not. Now listen, I got a license behind my name,
okay.
So I'm held to a higher standard in the public, so I can't really afford to be lying to the people. So yeah, one is brand and one is generic. I usually like to tell people it's like Tylenol versus acetaminophen. You walk into Walgreens, you might have Tylenol, which is the brand company, and then you may have Walgreens who sells acetaminophen.
Okay.
But if you look at the ingredients on the box, it's the same exact ingredients. But once the drug is FDA approved, no other company can copy that commercial-based drug. So you have to give it a different brand name, right? But it's still semaglutide. They can't hear me.
Still asking to bring your mic up a little bit.
Okay, I'm talking in the microphone. Can y'all hear me now?
I'm turning it up. I'm turning it up. Can y'all
hear me now? Is that better? Oh, I ain't afford right now, Chad. Is that better? So yeah, so same wegovy, Ozempic, same active ingredient, generic, which is semaglutide. Except Ozempic was approved for type 2 diabetes management and wegovy was approved for chronic weight loss management.
Okay.
So then there's all of this talk about people who are on Ozempic are, helping to contribute to the diabetics not being able to get their medications. But what people don't realize is that like the medication that we use, that we like from my clinic, semaglutide, we get from a compounding pharmacy. We're not using your traditional pharmacies like CVS, Walgreens, all of these commercial-based pharmacies. We don't use those type of pharmacies. We use a compounding pharmacy. What is a compounding pharmacy? A compounding pharmacy steps in to customize a drug for a patient. Anytime a drug is on national back order, Ozempic is a drug that's on a national back order. So anytime you have a drug that's on back order, anytime you have a drug that's been discontinued, anytime you have a drug that needs customizing dosing, a compounding pharmacy steps in to make that drug. So the compounding pharmacies that most of clinics like myself, med spas and other clinics like myself, we use make semaglutide that we're able to provide to people for weight loss. So we're not contributing to anybody shortages of not being able to get their medication because it's not even coming from the same type of pharmacy. As a matter of fact, the compounded pharmacies are making it where more people can actually get it.
Okay.
So that's how we're able to get around not having to have type 2 diabetes or, like Mounjaro, again, having to have type 2 diabetes to be able to get the generic. I can get the generic form of it, tirzepatide, and use it for what we call off-label use for weight loss.
Oh, okay. So when we talk about Ozempic and Mounjaro and semaglutide, what exactly do they do to aid in weight loss?
Okay, so the medication works in two different ways. one of the ways that the medication works is on the central nervous system. So we're talking about the brain. I'm try to keep it very basic. It sends a signal to the brain to tell the brain that you're full, so that you can stop eating as opposed to consuming everything on your plate. So in most of us, that should be happening anyways. But for a lot of us, for whatever reason, those signals aren't sent to the brain, so we overeat, which is how we end up gaining weight. So the medication sends that signal to tell the brain, I'm full. So you end up eating a couple of, make couple bites and you're full, and that's it. So it's the tool that's teaching you how to eat. So you should be eating smaller portions, smaller frequent meals throughout the day. This is not something that's meant for you to be on forever, but it's more so a tool to train you how to eat, right? And so once you pull the medication off, that diet regimen that you've developed of eating smaller frequent meals is what you should be continuing to do. The other way that it works is that it stimulates the pancreas to release insulin. And when the pancreas releases insulin, the insulin, once it's released, it pulls the glucose out of the blood and it stores it into the body tissue so the body can burn it for energy.
Okay. So when people say, like a lot of people say, are comparing it to phentermine. Phentermine is like speed, right?
Phentermine is an appetite suppressant, and
Okay.
phentermine is basically like the same drug. It's a stimulant. It's like Adderall. It's the same. It's the same category of drug. So phentermine is more so of an appetite suppressant. It's going to take away your appetite,
And it's going to increase your heart rate,
and it increases your heart rate and your metabolism, and makes you have constipation, dry mouth, and a whole bunch of other things.
Ozempic does
Ozempic,
semaglutide, Ozempic,
or Ozempic or semaglutide can for some people suppress their appetite, but it's not an appetite suppressant. So some people do end up feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm not hungry, I'm full.
Yeah,
it's more so I'm full and I don't want to eat anything, but it usually is expressed as it's an appetite suppressant, but it's not.
Okay.
It's just acting on mechanisms in the brain to say that, tell the body that you're full, but it's not really suppressing the appetite.
Okay. Like lady 6916 said, I'm a nurse and most folks on Ozempic need it because they're usually pre-diabetic. I was pre-diabetic. So, and then I'm not anymore.
And so, and that's the benefit. See, so like I prescribe the medication to clients who want to use it for weight loss, but I also do my due diligence. I do a workup.
You do.
I don't just start.
She came to my house and took my blood. I'm like, you need to sign this waiver. I don't know where you going with my blood and what you gonna do with it.
Yeah, right.
I was calling you on the phone. What was my results?
What was my results? Yeah, I don't just start people on the medication without knowing what's going on in their body. So I'm actually getting blood work to tell them, like, let me see what your body's doing. Let me do a medical history on you. Let me do a biometric screening. Let me get your blood pressure to see what's going on in your body before I just go put you on a medication. So I know that there are a lot of clinics that don't do that, but I'm not one of them. And so, yes, I've been able to help bring a lot of people's A1Cs down because, I mean, that's what the medication was originally meant for, right? To lower your A1C and to lower your blood sugar. And so for those who are pre-diabetic, I get a baseline A1C. So we can see what that A1C number is. And then after you come off of the medication or in 3 months, we can recheck it and see the difference in the numbers since you've been on the semaglutide.
Right. She said most insurance won't pay for some of these medications if you are diabetic.
So it does depend. So if you're going the traditional route, which is by going through your primary care doctor, right? So your primary care doctor has to basically prove that there's a medical necessity for you to be on this drug. So if he's trying to use Ozempic for weight loss, then now your doctor has to submit, a claim. Like he has to do a workup, do a note, and say that, you are either diabetic or pre-diabetic in order for you to get the medication. If he can't prove that claim, the insurance company is not going to approve it.
Well, let me tell you this. It all depends on the insurance company too, because my insurance company is shit. But there, there's that. But my doctor prescribed me Ozempic. And wait, she prescribed me Ozempic, seven, some with an S, Fex, some with an F. All of them had semaglutide in it, right? Because she was like, if they don't approve one, they'll approve the other. Because they were saying that they were having a problem with Ozempic and stuff. And so I was pre-diabetic. It was proven I was pre-diabetic, but my insurance still would not pay for those drugs. So I ended up having to pay out of pocket the first.
And which is the case for a lot of people, which is how they end up finding med spas like myself that are able to prescribe it from a compounding pharmacy, hence why it's the generic. But it's the national shortage. Remember, I
Mhm.
mentioned too that it's on the national shortage list. So, going the traditional route, a lot of insurances are not gonna, they feel like you don't need it, and there are other means that you can take to lose weight. They won't approve it, but it's a lot of things that go into, why insurances will or will not approve a drug. But mainly, the physician has to prove, that there's a medical necessity for the drug in order for them to approve it.
Right.
But then it's expensive.
It is. It's very expensive.
So if I write a prescription for you to go get it, and you go to Walgreens right now, it's gonna cost $1,000 a month.
Mhm.
Outside of insurance.
Yeah.
So then you got to look at your insurance. Like, are they going to want to, is it necessary?
Right.
Do I want to pay $1,000 a month for this patient to be on this drug? So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, so there are things that go into, if the insurance company is going to cover it or not. But it's an expensive drug.
Right. So as far as like coming to your med spa,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let me. Okay, so this person asks which one would work best for a man.
For a man,
When you talk about semaglutide or we go like I guess they're
all doing the same thing now. Mounjaro, also known as tirzepatide, works. It has a different, extra, I guess I should say, receptor that it works on, to kind of do double the work that of a semaglutide would do. But it's really not gender specific.
Mhm.
You give it to anybody, really. You know what I'm saying? It's either gonna work or it's not gonna work. I don't necessarily think it works. Either one works better for a man or female. I mean, I have both male and female clients on the medication, and everybody's losing. Now, of course, everybody loses different, amounts of weight, but that also goes into what all is going on in your body. If there's any medical constraints, how you're eating while you're on the diet, how you're consuming water, your metabolism, if you have hormonal issues. Like, there are many factors that go into why some people might only lose 10 pounds versus why some people might lose 20 versus 40, but it's not really gender specific.
Right.
If that answers the question.
Okay. So what are some of the side effects of
Ooh.
semaglutide, Ozempic, wegovy, Mounjaro?
All of the above.
All of the
Okay.
above.
So they all pretty much have the same side effects. And so they're pretty much most of your, what we call GI, which is gastrointestinal side effects. So that's nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, acid reflux, burping, something known as sulfur burps, which smell horrible, by the way. Gas, headache, fatigue are the most common side effects.
Okay.
And most people experience one or two at least.
Mhm.
And what I normally tell people is the side effects can be enhanced by what you choose to eat while you're on the medication.
Mhm.
Because again, it's a tool that's training you how to eat. So if you eat certain foods like high fat foods, greasy, fried, you're gonna be sick.
Mhm.
You're gonna feel nauseous, and it's gonna make you want to throw up. And then for some people, I have some clients that don't have any side effects at all.
Yeah,
So
I didn't have any side effects, and I was feeling like it wasn't working. But I was losing inches,
Mhm.
and I was like, "What is happening?" Like, like I'm going down, and then I was looking at the scale, and the scale wasn't going down quick enough for me.
Mhm.
Like 1 pound a week is not enough.
Well, 2 pounds a week is normal weight loss. You don't ever want to lose weight too fast, because the faster you lose it, the quicker it'll come back. And I know that there are a lot of groups out there, like
Mhm.
Mounjaro groups and Ozempic groups, and all kind of information is being put out there about the amount of weight you can lose. But the studies that they did showed that with semaglutide or Ozempic, the average amount of weight loss was about 15% of weight loss. And then for Mounjaro, the average was about 22% of weight loss. So for people that are saying like they've lost like 80, 90, 100 pounds, I kind of question if
Yeah,
that's
like were you on it for like 2 years or something?
right, because like most of my clients are losing, I've had a couple clients that have lost 40 pounds, but they've been on it,
Mhm.
5, 6 months.
Mhm.
But I don't, I'm very transparent and upfront. Like, the medication was initially designed for diabetes. So weight loss was just a plus, but it's not working to just solely make sure you lose weight. So to have that much weight loss is kind of not
Yeah,
realistic.
because I feel like it would be more important to not be pre-diabetic.
Pre-diabetic.
So,
Right.
if you are on that tipping
Mhm.
scale where you're headed that way,
Mhm.
then getting on this drug and losing the weight is a plus
Mhm.
because you want your body working right and you
Yeah.
don't want to be
Yeah.
diabetic. Somebody says, how does it affect your pancreas?
Because it works on the pancreas. It works on the pancreas for the pancreas to release insulin. So that's how it can affect your pancreas, which
Okay.
is one reason why I do blood work.
Yep.
And it all,
Chiquita, I'm sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, no.
Chiquita said, but they are originally for diabetic patients, so their weights do come back when you stop taking it because normal diabetic patients don't stop taking it. And
So
I know for sure.
the weight will come back if you go back to unhealthy eating habits. Yes, the
Okay.
weight will come back. So again, it's a tool to train you how to eat. This is not, that's really like any diet pill or anything is not meant for long term. It's something to help you basically lose weight and kind of help train you either how to eat or how to do something to help you on your
Mhm.
diet, on your weight loss journey. This medication, and I tell patients that because you're not going to be on it forever. So if it's training you to eat smaller frequent meals, then once you come off the medication, you got to be disciplined to say that I don't have to eat everything on this plate and I don't have to go back to seconds. So if you want to keep the weight off, you can. And it's the same thing with phentermine. But I feel like with phentermine, because phentermine completely suppresses your appetite. Yes, when you stop taking phentermine, you go from not eating to eating, so the weight's going to come back. With semaglutide, you're still eating,
Mhm.
right? But you're just eating smaller, frequent portions. So if you've made up in your mind that that's what
That
you
once
want to
you
do to keep the weight off, then especially if you lost 40 pounds doing it, then why are you going to go back to eating all of this crazy food, eating once a day, which by the way starves the body, puts the body in starvation mode, right? So you should be eating more,
Mhm.
and it's all about what you're eating. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that's anything. Like if you're not eating healthy, if you're not working out, then yes, it's gonna come back. But this is a tool to kind of get the scale moving, to get you some motivation to help get the weight off. Because for some people, it's just hard
I'm
to lose weight.
motivated. I am motivated. Yes. As soon as I saw my weight, my waist came back, honey. And then I was like, okay. Then I had to put on my little midi dresses and stuff. I'm like, okay, I am very motivated because once you jumpstart,
Mhm.
that's why I said I didn't feel like it was working. Because like I lost the 20 pounds and then I lost another 15. Then it was like nothing.
Plateau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to be on something else. So I switched to Mounjaro, hoping that the Mounjaro would be like different than what the semaglutide
Mhm.
by itself was. And it was a difference like the first week or so. Like I noticed that, see, I'm a lady. I don't like talking about this. But I noticed that, like I was like pooping more,
Uh-huh.
more than just with the regular semaglutide or whatever. And I was like, was that good or bad? I felt like that might have been good because when you get rid
Mhm.
of more poop, you get
Yeah,
rid of
because a
more
lot of
weight.
us are just carrying around waste, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, you use the bathroom and you weigh yourself, you tend to
But
be
don't the
lighter.
semaglutide make you like constipated?
That's a potential side effect. It can make you constipated,
Okay.
absolutely. Which is why I tell people different things that they can take while
To-
they're on it. I always promote, a good probiotic in addition to taking the medication just for good gut health.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let me see what the other people. News outlets report Ozempic aids in controlling alcohol and drug abuse urges.
That is the newest thing that I've seen that is
What?
out there. And so I can't, I don't know about the article. I mean, I've heard about it, but just my own clients that are on it, a lot of them have said that their urge to drink has definitely been decreased since they're
Yeah, I
on
haven't
it.
been drinking at all.
You don't think about it,
And
and
then when you
so
do drink,
it make you sick. Should you be drinking? No, I'm just
I should be drinking. And when you go out and you socially drink, you go
kidding.
out, you have like a cocktail at dinner.
Hmm.
I had some cocktails and I came home and I felt like I had been on like a college bender. Like I slept on the bathroom floor. I did. I was like, I didn't drink that much, but I felt like I was an alcoholic because I was towed up.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I didn't realize how that would affect my body. Like it was just
Yeah, it
mm,
decreases the urge, and so I from based on I haven't read the article, but I've talked to some colleagues about it, and I guess they're thinking about how it would be beneficial to help people, I guess, that do have those drug addictions and alcohol. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see kind of how
mhm.
that plays out. But I know just I've had my own clients tell me that their urge to drink was definitely
Yeah,
decreased since being
I
on it.
don't have any and also I don't have any urges for sweets.
Yes.
None.
Yep. Hmm. Or if you eat something too sweet, make you sick.
It's weird. Anyway, so somebody said, how is it training you mentally how to eat?
How's it training you mentally? Because so again, the medication itself works on the brain, right, to send a signal to the brain, a hormone, what they call an appetite hormone in the brain to tell the brain you're full. But when you stop taking the medication, you're gonna remember, okay, that medication was kind of helping me, right, to stop eating. But if you're no longer on the medication, now you have to mentally say to yourself or be disciplined and say, you know what, I'm good.
And notice you're eating more.
And notice you, right,
Yeah,
like, because most of us, when we fill our plates, we don't really think about portion control.
that's true.
But being on this medication, just like we're talking about the urge to drink alcohol is decrease the urge to eat sugars. You're having these conversations. You're talking about it, right? So if you drink alcohol and you get sick, are you going to want to keep drinking alcohol? Because you already know, okay, if I drink it, it's gonna make me.
Deterrent.
It's a deterrent, right?
Yeah.
It's a deterrent. So it's making you
I was
have
giving up alcohol.
conversations, and it's making you think about your food choices.
Yeah.
So then once you stop, it's on you to continue that or either go back to those old unhealthy habits.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's all in moderation too.
That's
Because you probably not gonna just stop drinking forever. But do you have to drink every day if you're drinking? Right. And then what kind of are you drinking?
Do you have to drink hard liquor?
Do you have to drink hard liquor versus wine? So it's making you have conversations with somebody more than like your provider and yourself about things that you're putting in your body.
Someone said, how does it affect one's cycle?
So I actually had a client that thought that it made her cycle longer. And when I tried to do the research on it, like, I didn't find anything to say that it would affect the cycle or make the cycle longer. So I don't know if that was just something specific to her, but I don't have any scientific based evidence to say or that I've seen to say that it affects one cycle.
Okay. Well, it didn't affect mine.
But for those for somebody that has PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is usually associated to people who are overweight, is naturally helping to cure conditions like that, because if you lose weight, losing weight helps to cure PCOS, which will help to cure for some people irregular cycles. So I don't really see, just by knowing that, I don't see how it would be more of a negative thing on the cycle, but more, to me, my mind, would be beneficial for someone, like I said, with that condition.
Right. Any type of weight loss is beneficial for your cycle. So someone said that her coworker's cholesterol has been elevated since the age of 18, and she's been on Ozempic since January, and her cholesterol is almost normal.
I can vouch for that. So because it's lowering one's blood sugar, A1C, is helping to decrease your risk for diabetes, hypertension, also known as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, also known as hyperlipidemia, stroke, heart attack, is lowering all of those risk factors.
Okay. You want to take any questions from the crowd if they want to call in? I don't know if they're going to call in this time of day to talk about weight loss. They might be scared. But y'all, I have been on it for a while, and yeah, I'm on Mounjaro now. I'm about to go up on my dosage, just moment of transparency, because I feel like I need to be finer. I know I'm fine now, but
Yeah, and we'll have to see how you do. Come back in a month and see what kind of results you've had once we bump you up. I myself, moment of transparency, I was on it for 3 months. I'm still on it, and I'm down 20 pounds. So I if they can go to my Instagram, MyHealthReassurance1 on IG, to see my befores and afters. But definitely 20 pounds lost, but a ton of inches lost.
Okay. Well, yes, it's an injection. Go ahead and tell them how you get the drug. How do they administer the drug?
So it's a weekly injection that is most often administered in your stomach. For some people, we administer in the back of their arm or in a fatty area of their thigh. Any subcutaneous or fat area of the body, it can be administered, but the ideal site is the abdomen. So it's a weekly injection, and then you will alternate. If you do it on the left side 1 week, you do it on the following side the following week. But if you started on the Monday, your injections will be every Monday.
Every Monday, yeah. I take mine every Thursday, so I got to take mine today. But I do notice the day, like, after I take it, like, the drug, of course, the drug is stronger when you first take it. So I don't really want to eat, and I know that's bad. My schedule is horrible, but I noticed I've been eating like once a day. Like, I got my hair done yesterday. Got up at 8:00 in the morning, got my hair done, and we ordered lunch. I had like a sandwich at the beauty shop, but I only had like half of the sandwich. And then Derek J bought cookies, and I just wanted a cookie because I was greedy because those cookies look good. Y'all saw me eat that cookie on TikTok, but yeah, I ate a cookie, and then I came home and ate the other half of the sandwich later. But I didn't have nothing like normally. I be ordering Uber Eats for lunch, Uber Eats for dinner, cooking, doing whatever. Every now and then I cook, y'all. But yeah, I just noticed now it's like I only eat once a day, and I even though that's bad, I do notice my
I
my,
was just gonna say you need
my
to eat
intake
more.
of food
It's
is
smaller.
less.
It's smaller.
Yeah.
But and so I do tell people, because when they come in for that, we have two crowds. We have people who don't have a phobia of needles and they don't mind self-administering at home. But then we do have a crowd of clients who come weekly to have their injections because they don't want to self-inject. And that part of it helps with accountability because as they're coming in weekly, we're asking them, okay, so how was your week? What did you eat? What did did you experience any side effects? And we titrate or adjust the medication accordingly based off of, how their week went. But I just lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that? I was going to say something. Something you just said. Oh, but we talk about also the foods that you should be eating. You should be eating foods high in protein, of course, vegetables, and then, of course, a high fiber diet to help with the constipation that can occur with the medication. But we tell them you're going to feel like you don't want to eat, but you have to eat. You have to be realistic as possible because again, like someone mentioned, if you once you come off the medication, if you go back to your old habits, the weight's going to come back. So it's unrealistic to kind of go all day without eating. So even if it's something small, every couple of hours, I tell people don't go past 3 hours without eating something, some nuts, some fruit, some yogurt, something every 3 hours, so that you're kind of training yourself like this is what I should be doing.
Yes, I am following up with my primary care. Like I told y'all before, if you're just getting here, my primary care doctor actually was the first person to prescribe all the drugs to me, but my insurance would not cover it. So then I started trying to figure out alternative methods to get the medication cheaper because had I, got it from the pharmacy, it was $1,200 or, yeah, 1450 or whatever for this other what is Farxiga? That's what it was.
Farxiga.
It's the same.
Yeah,
It's
it's the same
semaglutide. It's a
category.
yeah.
Yeah.
They are like when I tell you, she was like, "Well, if this don't work, try this one. If this don't work, this is my primary care now." And she was like, "Because the thing is with weight loss, with anything, and I've been heavy, I've been skinny. I know what a lot. My doctor was telling me this too. Like it's harder to get motivated when you're as heavy. Like I was having back problems and all this after the pandemic. I had fibroids and everything else. But when you gain so much weight, it's like you feel pain, so you don't want to work out, and so it's like you need a jump start. And so I felt like I needed that jump start, and they agreed with me, like, yes, get these 10 pounds off, and then you could get to move and then this and the third. So once I lost the first 15 or so, and after my fibroid surgery, but that's a whole nother conversation. I had the weight off of my stomach because of the fibroid surgery. I had the 15 more pounds down after the semaglutide. And so I didn't have the back problems anymore. So then I was able to walk. So then I started walking my neighborhood and stuff. And that helped the other, 20 or 30 or so come off. So I'm getting there, y'all. I just feel like, everybody has their journey.
Something. Yeah.
You know.
And so too, I also have a lot of clients who will do a consultation and they'll say, let me follow up with my PCP and make sure that they're okay with this. And they do exactly that. They'll follow up with their PCP. I've even had one person told me that they PCP went to my Instagram, looked at my Instagram page to make sure
sure that you was on the up and up.
that I was a real,
Okay.
provider or whatever. And I'm like, hey, I'm here for it. Do whatever you got to do. But yeah, I've had people who said, you know what, let me check with my primary care provider and make sure that it's okay. And then they come back. And again, I do blood work. So, you're able to take the blood work that I do at my clinic. You're able to take a copy of that. Once you get in my system, you get a copy of any blood work that you ever had with me. You can take that back to your PCP and say, hey, these are my numbers when I started with her.
Because that's what happened with me. Like my A1, whatever it is.
A1C.
Yeah, A1C was up. It was higher. That's why she prescribed those Ozempic and stuff. And then, you had did my blood work. It was down from when she had did it. And then I went back again after that and it was down a little bit more. So we working now. My numbers are normal and stuff. Her contact information is Kayona Moreland, my health reassurance one on Instagram. Her phone number is actually in the description box of this video. If you would like to contact her for an appointment, okay. But look, she don't give consultations for free, so don't be calling her asking her all these questions and stuff without sending no money or nothing. Um, but yeah, I mean, go ahead and say whatever else you would like to say about them.
Well, yeah, I mean, so yeah, I'm located in Fayetteville, Georgia. But I do have a concierge nurse that lives in Atlanta, and so she has been trained to operate in the same capacity as me in the clinic. But we would do the in-home assessments and start the weight loss program in your home, and we also do in-home IV hydration as well. So if you are in the Metro Atlanta area and you don't want to drive all the way to Fayetteville for the services, we do have a concierge nurse that can perform.
They want to know, do you do virtual appointments?
Yes, I do telehealth. We call telehealth visits as well. So those are on the website as well.
Look, y'all from all over the country. Y'all can listen. Kayona is good at what she does, and she will tell you she has experience in the medication as well. But
and experience in general. I've been a nurse for 16 years, and I've been a nurse practitioner for 8 years. So I'm not new to this.
Okay. The link is in Taurus Shenanigans. If anybody wants to call in and chime in right now, this is your opportunity to ask your question while she's here with me. Okay. So you said, oh, you're in Covington. Okay. Well, Kim, you need to contact Kayona over at My Health Reassurance. Head on out to Fayetteville, or she has a concierge nurse that may come to you.
www.myhealthreassurance.com.
Hold on. Put that in. Semicolon /.
Actually, yeah, My Health Reassurance do .as.me, and it'll take them right to my scheduling page. .as.me, and it has all of the services. You did it, yeah. All of the services, prices, all of that. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, we got a guest in the building. Hey, Tyler.
I'm finally on camera.
Oh, sure. I see you.
But okay, so I have tried Ozempic, and I was just testing it because I did hear about the whole weight loss thing. My fiance, he's a diabetic, but he gave me like a little sample snippet. I think he did it like twice. Once he did it like once a week thing, like either it was once a week or once every 2 weeks. I can't remember, but I did lose like 15 pounds, and it did make me like sick. But that could be because I'm not a diabetic. So I was just like testing this theory out.
But so you didn't go to the doctor. You just took your
no. I mean, but this is why we're having these conversations.
Tell the truth now. You on camera.
I am. I mean, I'm being transparent. So I did say, I was testing the theory. I did a little bit of research, but now that you brought this topic to our attention, which is great because we all need to hear this information. And so now that I'm glad you have this guest to give us this information, this knowledge, I do want to do more research, and so I missed it because when I was trying to click on a StreamYard, and by the time I popped up, you guys were in the middle of talking about something. Was it the website and everything? Making the appointments. Could you please repeat yourself? I missed all that. And the as I was hopping in StreamYard.
Virtual appointment. She is on Instagram at Instagram.com MyHealthReassurance1.
Correct. Yep.
And go ahead.
And so you can also go to www.myhealthreassurance.as.me, which will show you all of the appointments that we offer. We have concierge services too. If you are within the Atlanta metro area and you feel like Fayetteville is too far, or you can come in the office. But either way, we'll do a workup on you in consultation. Your candidate.
Right. I'm definitely interested because, I need to make an appointment with my doctor. She just told me my cholesterol was high when I had my physical done. So that's definitely something I need to work on. I can't think of any other questions.
Well, you look beautiful. I love seeing your smiling face.
Thank you. I'm always at work, and I just got off work, and I'm excited. Well, I didn't just get off, but I got off this morning. I'm
Well,
off.
I
God
appreciate
damn
you
it.
for calling in today.
And good
You're
luck with your
welcome.
journey if you decide to start it.
Okay. See you soon.
Thank
Bye.
you.
All right. Somebody said, what's the thyroid black box warning?
So, in the studies that were completed, in which I believe were either rats or mouse or something like that, they weren't studies on humans, but they did show that there was a link to thyroid cancer, which is another reason why I do a TSH, also known as a thyroid stimulating hormone. I check that on everybody that I start on the medication. And that's why it's important to not just be starting the medication without knowing people's medical histories, family, past medical history, because if you are prone to, abnormal thyroid, have thyroid issues, or if you come from a family background of thyroid cancer, then we don't even risk going down that road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Dr. Tracy.
Hello.
Hey, and I was trying to come on with my resident therapist stuff, but y'all know I'm working. My next appointment is at 3 o'clock.
It's like,
Listen, Michelle, I love you. Um, I want to appreciate you bringing on my sister. Hey, Princess AG. I'm learning how to do this YouTube thing. Don't look at all my papers and stuff, y'all, because y'all know
we don't
I'm a
see all that,
student of
Dr.
the work.
Tracy. We're not even looking
Okay.
behind you. We're looking at your smiling face.
So, Michelle, I just want to honor you and say thank you for your worthwhile programming. Social media catches a rap with the salacious and all these other things that don't bring an add to our lives. And as a Black woman looking at two Black identifying women doing their damn thing, I appreciate it. The sister, the nurse practitioner. What is your name again, please? Because I'm creeping. I'm
Kayona.
supposed to be eating lunch.
Kayona.
Kay, Kayana. So, as I was listening to you, I think it's important for you to share with the squad what a nurse practitioner really is, because nurse practitioner is beyond nurse, and you actually have the authority in the state of Georgia to write scripts on a MD's pad, right? And so, with that, the common public, they don't know our roles. They don't know what we do for real. They don't even know that sometimes you get a better, insightful support from a nurse practitioner because you're not just shuffling people in and out in 10, excuse me, 8 to 14 minutes like most of our MDs do, because there is a shortage. So, if you could just talk a little bit about what a nurse practitioner is, what that looks like. And thank you for having this conversation, because I was asking Michelle about the different, drugs and things of that nature. I'm a bariatric patient. I had a gastric sleeve, right? And I'm very clear on my issue. I like junk. I like sweets. I'm from Mexico. I'm a Geechee girl, which is not good. And now I'm doing more with nature's candy, which is fruit, right? Which is helpful and more water. But thank you so much for being here. And thank you, Michelle, for the impactful and quality programming that you share with the squad. So I'm going to shut up now.
Well, thank you for that, and I would be happy to explain what the different roles are. So, a nurse practitioner is basically an advanced practice registered nurse. So, I went to school for 4 years to become a registered nurse, and then I went back to school an additional 2.5 years to become a nurse practitioner, which is an advanced practice provider. It's along the same level as a physician assistant, but of course not as high as a medical doctor. But I do have the authority to write prescriptions. I do have the authority to diagnose and treat patients. So, you know, we do tend to spend more time with a patient because of bedside skills that begin as working as a registered nurse. We're in the room 12 hours out of the shift. We're there with the client. So those skills kind of come over with you in your career as you advance to become an advanced registered nurse practitioner. So that's why I'm a little thorough with prescribing this medication. And that's why you hear the lab work and all that I do to put you on this medication, and I'm not just putting this medication in you without doing my due diligence, because I am a nurse practitioner, and there's a standard that comes with being a nurse practitioner that I have to uphold.
Okay.
Did I answer the question? Was that pretty good?
Well, because part of my role as a clinician is I find when we're dealing with BIPOC persons, Black, Indigenous, and persons of color, and as a clinician myself, we have not had access to things that dominant culture people have. And part of the deal with us is our bodies have been used for the benefit of science and our unawareness oftentimes. And so people in our communities are skeptical, as we should be. But there's a difference between being skeptical and being cynical. Skepticism means that you're open. Cynicism and cynical means that you're closed. And the only way we're going to gain health and wellness in our communities is by us having a healthy dose of skepticism, because that's healthy, but also understanding that it's okay to be with people who look like us, because you're going to get a different experience, which is experiential. Everything ain't pathology. And so when it comes to communities of color, of people, whether they're Black, AAPI, Asian American, Pacific Islanders, African, Caribbean, Latinx, it's important for us as community of persons of color to have understanding and receive grace so we can become more informed. You did a beautiful job with explaining that to everyone. So thank you for honoring that. Now I'm getting up out of here so I can eat my little food on my lunch break,
Well,
but
nice
I'm going to
meeting
be
you.
in the
Thank you.
bushes.
Well, I appreciate you
Pleasure is
calling in,
mine.
Dr. Tracy, and giving us a little bit of your time. I appreciate you.
It's always a pleasure. It's reciprocity, Michelle. You've been so gracious to me
Oh, thank you.
in the work I do. And so I have to pay it forward. I can't
Thank
sit in the bushes. When I see something, I say something with people I'm in relationship with. And that's how we grow and develop. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon. And I'm
You
going to
as
be
well.
down here. Thank you, my love. And keep
Thank
going.
you. Thank
Thank
Thanks for
you.
your
you.
service.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right,
Goodbye.
Michelle, kick me out of here. You know I don't know how to do it.
All right. Bye. Y'all, shout out to Dr. Tracy. Listen, y'all can call in if you would like to ask a question about it. Oh, someone did ask a question. I hearted it. Hold on, where is it? Where is it? I may have missed it. Here she is. She Mormon. What's the difference between Ozempic and Mounjaro?
So to not confuse you, because I tend to explain things and forget that I'm, you know, talking medical. But so they're both what they call glucagon-like peptides, but instead of semaglutide just acting on one receptor to in the brain to make you feel full quicker, Mounjaro does it in two forms. That's the easiest way I can explain it without confusion. So I think that is the reason behind why the study showed that Mounjaro was a little bit more effective, because you have two receptors that are working to control the appetite centers in the brain, as opposed to with semaglutide you only have one.
Okay.
And the study showed that there were 22% weight loss with Mounjaro and up to 15% weight loss with semaglutide.
Oh, okay.
For
Okay.
yeah.
And Mounjaro was actually approved for weight just for what? No.
No, Mounjaro is actually still only approved for type 2 diabetes.
Oh, okay.
But we use it for off-label use. The word off-label, anytime you hear a provider saying something is being used for off-label, it means they are using it for use other than the intended reason for which the drug was approved by the FDA.
Okay.
So, and you can do that. That's fine. You just have to be upfront with people and tell people that this medication was prescribed for this, but for off-label purposes, I'm using it to help you lose weight.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay. Can you take any of the medication with diabetes and high blood pressure
Are they saying in conjunction, or can you
and high cholesterol?
So the medication helps those that have been diagnosed with high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol. It helps those numbers to come down. If you're already on a diabetic medication and you're wanting to try this, I'm pretty skeptical about doing, because you're competing. The medications are competing for the same purpose. And so you don't want to take two medications at the same time that can lower the blood sugar and what we call bottom your blood sugar out. So if you're already on a diabetic medication, I pump the brakes and refer you back to your PCP and see if they want to switch you out or let them make the decision about being on two different diabetic medications. Even if I'm still giving it to you for weight loss purposes, it's still going to do what it was designed to do. So yeah, that's my only concern.
Right. As with any drug, okay, contact your doctor and make sure that you are a candidate for these medications. I want to thank Kayona for joining me today.
This was fun.
This was fun. See, you was all nervous and stuff. But yeah, listen, support Black businesses, support our Black entrepreneurs, support our Black professionals. Listen, Kayona is she is on her game when it comes to these medications and these weight loss medications. She also does, again, like I said, IV rehydration therapy. You sit there being all cute and you get, put your stuff in your vein and you get your vitamin B and all these other vitamins straight to the vein, to the jugular, honey. So and they make you feel good. You just be so happy very quickly. So anyway, hold on, let me see what else they got before I go. What about when you stop the drug and gain it all back? We have addressed this balance, but we will address it again. Go ahead.
So yes, so if you stop taking the medication and you go back to old bad habits, old bad eating habits, eating once a day, eating foods that aren't healthy for you, the weight will come back. Yes, it will. But if you make a conscious effort to say that, because this is a lifestyle modification, right? So if you make an effort to say, I've lost 40 pounds and I'm going to do whatever it is to keep this weight off, then
I guess most people think that, like, once you stop the medication, despite all your efforts, you're just going to gain it back, period.
No,
because your body is functioning without that aid.
But so that's what it depends. It depends on you, right? If you go out, so if you have not been eating, remember we talked about how it decreases your urges for sweets, right? So let's say you stop taking the medication and you're like, ooh, I got a sweet tooth. So I'm gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts. I'm gonna get me some donuts. And then later on in the day, I kind of want some ice cream. And you just keep going, right? You're gonna look up and the weight's gonna be back. If you don't have any discipline to say, or if you want something sweet, it's okay to eat something sweet, but don't eat something sweet every day,
right? All
day. So again, it's up to you. It's just a tool to help you lose weight. It's not something. It's just a tool. That's all. It's not something meant for you to be on long term. Something to give you motivation to get the scale moving, but it's completely up to you if you want to keep the weight.
And that's what I said. Like, when I got on it, I needed a jump start. I needed to get like 10, 15 pounds off because the weight was affecting, my back. It was hurting. And so, like, once I got that first 15 off, the rest of it was easy because now you can start to move. You can start to do what you need to do. And as they all say, the journey of a million miles begins with a single step. So, just get started. Okay.
One day at a time.
But there's that, we love the thick girls, and I love being thick, but I love being curvaceous too. So I don't want to be too thick. I want to be thick in the right places. Okay. Thick and healthy. Okay. Perfect. Anyway, I appreciate everybody for joining. Hold on. One more question. What insurance paid for the medicine? Yeah, I know y'all coming in here late.
I'm not sure. You just have to. I don't have like a list of insurances that I know off the top of my head that covers the medications. You just have to. Yeah.
It
depends on your insurance company and what you and your provider discuss.
And most, doctors, if they prescribe you something, they have to work with your insurance to make sure your insurance
that there's a medical need for you to be on the medication. So.
So anyway, you guys, I appreciate y'all for joining me for this midday live. I want to thank Kayona for joining me. Again, y'all go and support Kayona on her Instagram. It's MyHealthReassurance. One. And her contact information is in the description box, her phone number and everything. So, and her her website. I put the website down there as well. So I want y'all, if you have any questions, she does virtual consultations as well. Okay. So it doesn't matter where you are in these United States of America or around the globe. If you have Wi-Fi, if you have a phone, you can contact Kayona and she can get you started on this weight loss journey. I appreciate you.
Thank
Kayona.
you for having me.
All right, y'all. Don't forget to like,
Bye.
subscribe, and all of that jazz. I will see you in the next video. And Biggie is about to go crazy. Bye, y'all.